Hey, what's up? It's Miles. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. In this video today, I'm a 23-year-old full-time Amazon seller. In the last 12 months, done about 1.9 million in sales strictly through online arbitrage. And in today's video, I'm gonna be sitting down with one of my coaching program clients, Makayla, who actually just hit 100K in sales in her first 4 months. Obviously, these results are not typical or anything like that, but pretty cool to hear some insights from her in terms of finding success quickly with reselling with online arbitrage and all that getting going. I do want to mention, if you are very serious about growing an existing or really just looking to get into online arbitrage and are looking to work directly with me, you can apply below. Once again, over 50% of people that schedule calls, I decline them just because most people aren't qualified for this and everything. But if you're one of those people that really wants to buckle down and make an investment in growing, make sure to check that down in the description. And let's get right into the video talking with Makayla about she did 100K in her first 4 months in sales, probably about 15 to 20 grand of profit in there. Makayla, thanks for joining me. So you want to talk to us a little bit about some of the success you've had so far on Amazon, and then we'll kind of get into the tactical and everything in terms of how you made it happen so quickly.
Yeah, so I managed to hit 100K in 4 months. I set that goal for myself a while ago, and people probably thought I was crazy, but I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to beat everyone, and I'm going to prove everyone wrong. And so I ended up doing it. And obviously, like, I'm not fully satisfied right now. 100K is great and everything. I fast in the greatness, but like I'm on to the next thing. I want to do 100K obviously in a month. So that's
Yeah, and that should happen soon. And obviously, right, this is like the equation of like growing just an arbitrage, right? It's understanding how to source, which takes a while, and having the capital to source, which depending on everyone's situation. But when you combine that equation, you can really grow it quick and everything, right? So it probably feels good, get some 5 figures profit under your belt just in the first few months and everything. It took me a lot longer than that, to over 2 years actually, not really knowing what I was doing and everything from a reselling perspective, but kind of just walks back to the beginning, right? January, February, in terms of how you actually originally found Amazon and then ultimately getting started and learning everything.
So I actually started on eBay back in October of last year. I was doing consoles and GPUs and like collectibles and stuff. I did a little bit of toy stores at the end of quarter 4, but the GPU market crashed and everything. So I was like, yeah, I need some like better steady income. I had multiple surgeries in the last few years, so I couldn't work a traditional 9 to 5. So I was like, maybe I should look into Amazon, because I had a couple of friends who were doing it. And the first time I tried it, I was like, yeah, I really don't like it that much. There's so much like ungating to do and everything. I had no idea how to do it. And so I gave up the first time. And then this last time was in February, and I've just been hooked ever since.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like, there's a natural barrier to entry to it that you don't see with eBay and some of the stuff, and that's why, like, if you are serious, you can get going quick because there is that natural barrier to entry, right? Some of the kids who do, like, all the GPUs, right, shoes, they're not 18, so they can't do Amazon or whatever, and then naturally it takes a little while. You got to verify an account for, like, 7 days. When I signed up 3 years ago, July, it was literally just like, you get going, here's an account, do what you got to do. Now they make it a little bit harder, which is good though, right? And they make you, they wait a few weeks before they pay you and everything like that. So what was the first item you sold back in the day?
Oh, I probably,
I could tell you the exact, or the third book I ever sold was an $86 book that I got for free and everything. But so you've always, I guess, been in like gated categories and everything. You don't have to deal with like just not what sucked of not knowing how to ungate stuff. Yeah. So what categories mainly these days?
It used to be grocery and like health and beauty, but now I'm doing more clothing and shoes. And
yeah,
I seem to like it.
Stuff. Yeah, it's stuff we talk about, right? There's all the variations, which confuses people. Higher ASP draws away a lot of newer sellers, a lot of gating and everything like that. And are you mostly prep yourself? I know there's some good pictures on Instagram of all those heavily taped boxes and all that, but I probably, just based on sales tax arbitrage, going to do some prep center as well if you're not already.
Yeah, so this last week, actually, on Monday, I signed with a prep center. So I'm going to be doing a little bit and then still doing a little bit here. I'm still, it's hard to give up, control. So
yeah, it's definitely, because right, with the way we start doing this, like just anyone watching this, right, you start trying to make money online so you can have control of things and everything, and it's tough, right, and everything. And now it's like me, I'm like trying to think of like hiring and stuff and everything. We'll see if that ends up coming to fruition, but that obviously is an eventual thing that I'll have to deal with and everything. But I the point of not giving up, prep yourself, that's key, because merchant fulfilled is so important, right? For back to school, eventually quarter 4 and everything like that. And everyone thinks it's like so good being all OA to prep, right? But you lose speed there. You lose obviously control and different things, which doesn't really matter if you have a good relationship with them and everything. And you also lose merge field capability. And I'm the biggest fan of merge filling because if you're new, it builds you that sourcing muscle so much quicker. So you don't have to deal with lead time, transfer times, or FC transfer, and all that. And then just from a sourcing perspective, what methods are you mainly doing?
Storefront stocking, SellerAmp, obviously.
Oh yeah, there we go.
The
Yeah,
goats.
easy. Yeah,
The two best tools.
nice and simple. Yeah, and there's all types of other stuff you can complicate and everything, but it's so important, right? In my opinion, because reverse sourcing is so scalable and that you don't have to wait for any TA searches, you don't have to wait for any VAs to get back to you or anything. You can literally just sit down and do it for a while, which newsflash is how you get good at it, doing it a lot with anything. And everything like that. And so in terms of like where was the timeline in terms of like you really feeling like, or maybe you still might not, you really feeling like I get this can scale, I can really do some good things with this?
Probably like within the last month.
And that's
finding better stuff, and I'm like, this is only my test buys right now. Like this whole month has been test buys, and I hit like 41,000 already. So like once I get through the test buys and start like really hammering it hard, it's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, and that's when you see the compounding effect too. Is right. Test buys there's a difference, right? So the test buy is really only a term, right, for people who are planning on rebuying stuff like that, and that typically connotates not on sale, or at least not on like a Memorial Day, 4th of July type sale. Which, if you guys are watching this is a great week to be in OA. There's lots of 4th of July sales. My video on Monday or Friday might be me live going through some 4th of July sales. It's a very good week to be an OA person and everything like that. But typically, right now, the test buys, it connotates rebuying and everything. So kind of switch, talk to us about that switch going from just like quick flips. I know you were dealing with a lot of price tanking and everything because you were buying from the biggest sites, the Walmarts and Targets of the world, now kind of switching to more of a replan model and like really kind of getting how to do that, which took me a real while to do.
Yeah, I don't really buy from like the big sites anymore, like Walmart and stuff. Like a little bit of Target and stuff, but I have some secret sauce, so that'll be profitable for a little while for me. But yeah, no, I stick to like the lower key sites, like stuff that I can get coupons and discounts from, because like longevity is a huge thing in OA, and just being able to fight other people that are price tanking. Like it's just, I don't want to deal with a bunch of new sellers either.
Yeah, right. Because on stuff, right, there's variations that you're buying with coupons. There tends to be a lot less competition. So naturally, that creates the longevity and the compounding effect of stuff you find right this week. You might still be able to do 6 months from now, or even like a month from now, even a little bit of compounding effect on. Is that definitely important, right? And a lot of people, I get the question, ironically, from a lot of newer sellers, like what they should be doing to prepare for the fourth quarter. And my answer is, don't worry about it at all. Focus on what you're doing now, because everything now is just going to be way better come the fourth quarter, and you'll be way better equipped if you put in the time and keep learning on stuff like this. And let's talk tech stack. So I obviously keep a SellerAmp in there. What other, just from a software perspective, are you using?
Inventory Lab. And I know you're going to hate me for this, but I actually do manual repricing now.
Oh, yeah, And you previously had what was the thought process on that? Because that creates a healthy debate in terms of like understanding.
I know it's unconventional, but I tried out Aura for 2 or 3 months, and then I did Be Cool a couple weeks ago, and I don't know, like my VA and I, we go back and forth between repricing ourselves.
Oh, so
we've just done a lot better.
She talks on the back end as well, the VA does? Okay, cool. So tell us about that, because I would even recommend, like, that might be a little early, but I think you had it even prior to like the coaching program and everything like that. So talk about how that's been helpful, because I mean, my VAs who I've had previously in the past for Amazon, I have no idea what repricing is or anything like that. It's mostly on like the sourcing side of things.
So yeah, my VA actually has a whole team working for him. So they do wholesale for me, and they also do my repricing now. So it's been helpful. They save me $100 a month, and I pay them their standard fee, per month, and they cover the repricing and the wholesale stuff. And they're actually starting to do a little bit of OA that I've been teaching them how to do. So yeah, it's been beneficial, really beneficial.
So they have like the limited access to your seller account or whatever to see the back end of stuff. That's interesting. And you originally so they're for wholesale, right? But they ended up, I guess, providing a little more. And that's important, right? Because so many people think of VAs, right, going to like solve their problems. And it's more so that like similar to a software where like it should be something you're already good at. That way you can manage it, but it just helps kind of expand right? The value of it, right? SellerAmp, right? It's not going to find leads for you, but it sure will help you find more leads, building up the skill you already have and everything like that. And I know just off like us talking prior, you've been getting involved in the Amazon community and anything. Like you guys see the at right there, you know, posting some content here and there and everything. Talk about kind of getting involved in the community and how that's been helpful in terms of things. So that's something I regret not doing earlier, at least like really, you know, connecting with people. And then once I did about a year and a half ago, great things started happening.
Yeah, so when I first started my Amazon journey, I really never thought about doing content. I'm super introverted and stuff, so like it wasn't like a huge thing on my list, but something ended up talking me into it, and it's just been on fire ever since. And like I've just met so many different people from, you know, different backgrounds, and it's just cool to see how everyone kind of works together. And you know, you can just find so many good friends from just, you know, reaching out to people, just saying, "Hey, would you be down to chat with me for, you know, 30 minutes or
Literally,
whatever?" I've spoken to so many people already.
yeah, right. Because we're all on here for a purpose, right? Because no one has anyone in real life to talk to about this stuff. So naturally, right, you have to go to online to do it, and there's no formal education around it either. There's just guys like me chatting here, I guess, on on YouTube or whatever about how to do it and everything. So you have to look at these, I guess, like decentralized ways to learn and make friends and stuff, because it's a lot easier when you have friends that you can like. There's some people that I'll like FaceTime if I find something good, and like they'll FaceTime me if I find something good, and that combined knowledge, right? Because there's only so much capital out there in the world, and so it's a lot easier when you can combine that knowledge, and good stuff definitely happens. In terms of really just getting going the way you did, quicker than a lot of people and everything, if you could change anything that would have gotten you here further, would there be anything in that regard?
Mm, I think everybody has room for improvement.
Yeah.
So, probably just sourcing a lot more. Like I sourced a lot, but just really grinding a little bit harder at the first few months of, you know, me running my business. I was a little more hands off than I should have been. Now I'm, you know, paying the price. I'm putting a lot more time now.
Yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
and
like
making
the
a lot
first
more
time was
money
keep
though,
sourcing.
you know? Yeah, right? Like with all this stuff and just with online business in general, you're and like even just from like an online arbitrage perspective, you're very underpaid at the start because you have no idea what you're doing. And then eventually it comes to when you have leverage, right? You have a network, you have a lot more capital, it can become the output is a lot greater, right? Because it's much easier. It takes the same amount of work to buy 5 of something than it does 100 of something, especially if you're not doing your own prep. And it's much easier to repurchase something than it is to find a new item to go sell on that as well. And then just kind of any finish up here, any like major tips for beginners or anything like that? What are like big questions you've been getting in the DMs or anything in terms of, right, just like common stuff people are looking to hear and just think like value we can provide?
A lot of people ask me like, how do I confidently buy this much stuff and, you know, put it on my credit card or whatever, spend this much money a month? And I don't know, you just kind of get used to it after a while. You just start believing in yourself. Eventually you'll get to the point where you're like, hey, like I know this is going to sell, like I'm going to go for it, you know, and it's just gonna be second nature to you at that point. And when I was first starting out, you know, I questioned myself. I was like, man, am I gonna have like 10 of these in my basement, like, you know, 5 months from now or whatever? But no, it all ended up working out in the end. So yeah, just keep going. I mean, it's hard for everybody at first, but you know, it's just like riding a bicycle. Like everyone struggles at first, but after you get the hang of it, it's just smooth sailing.
Yeah, and right, that confidence is important because it takes a while to build that confidence, but the only way you do it is by doing it a lot. And the only way you get good is by doing it a lot either. So good things definitely happen when, right, you stay in the arena for a while. And just so many people quit this stuff or quit any online business model so early when naturally, like it's completely unrealistic to make a lot of money quickly, right? And everything, it takes a lot of hours, but you can compress the time horizon a lot by going a lot harder and, you know, building your network, getting to know people, paying for info and, all that. Cool. But do you want to plug the socials then, and we'll get out of here?
Yeah, it's just the same
Right
as
here.
this.
Yeah. Oh, did it again.
Yeah, yeah.
There. Cool. Yes.
Yeah, on
So,
Twitter and Instagram.
cool. And maybe YouTube soon as well. Who knows on that? But yeah.
Yes, I'm
So,
working on it. Miles is
follow
getting
it.
on my
Yeah.
case.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely cool. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Thanks for coming on the channel and all that.
Yeah,
Hopefully we'll have
thanks.
another video under 6 month time, 100K a month first year,
Hopefully
right?
that's the
15K in
goal.
profit. And I remember like when we did the one-on-one and everything, you were like, I was like, you can realistically, like, if it's just the way it's trending now, clear 6 figures in profit right next 12 months or even this year with the big December and everything like that. And it's cool to see that come together because it was a thing like literally a year ago. I was like, fuck, like, how am I going to make 6 figures in profit? And now I ended up last year clearing multiple everything, hopefully a lot more than that this year and everything. But cool. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys on Friday for another video. Thanks a lot.